Hey, what's up guys, Fei here, back again playing Neoquest II. A quick recap on what's happened on the last episode. We defeat Scuzzy and the Snow Wager revealed to be a sentinel program of the ship computer, and the ship computer is hacked. So we have to figure out what's going on and find a librarian in the next simulation, the Lost Desert. We'll start the chapter at the Sakhmet city. There are 3 important NPCs there. Princess Pfizer, Advisor Wheatip, and Phoebia. They will tell you about the story of the chapter and also the whereabouts of the next boss, but it is not necessary to talk to them. If you want a way, you can follow any Neoquest guide or Jelly Leo or just play along with me. For me, I'm just gonna skip most of the dialogue because they talk a lot, and every time you defeat a boss you have to go back to Sakhmet City and they will reveal new information. So for the full dialogue you can go check out Jelly Leo. But if you don't want to read all of it, I can give you a brief run through. So basically there's a sandstorm ravaging the desert, and in order to stop it, we have to retrieve the celestial talisman from the Temple of the Sky in order to find the Medallion of the Wind and place it onto the pyramid to stop the sandstorm. But first we can buy some new weapons in the tents near Sakhmet. If you're using Jelly Leo's map like I did, the tents are in relative positions on the map. So let's go get some equipments first, shall we? From the last boss fight we got some pretty whack equipment, so definitely we can get some upgrade here. The 2 bows we got from Scuzzy is pretty whack, and I prefer to use the shops one. 25 attack, that's okay. And about the sword, we're using the shops 1 to 28 attack and increase it to 32, that's an upgrade. I kinda don't want to replace Mipsy's robe, because it has casting haste on it. So I'm just gonna replace Talinia's tunic to a new one. And about Rohan, we can buy a new mail for him too, because the mail we got from Scuzzy give us magic resistance, but also -1 melee haste, which I don't want. So I'm just gonna use the one from the shop. But I guess it's also situational. If we're fighting enemies that can cast a lot of spells, we can use the magic resistance one. However, in chapter 3 there's not too many enemies that can cast spells, except for the bosses maybe, so you don't need to switch your armor from battle to battle. And for me, I'm definitely not going to do that, even for boss battles. I'm too lazy to do that, and also it's normal difficulty, so it's not that serious. We're about to enter the Temple of the Sky, and in this chapter I'm going to take a different approach. For the last 2 chapters, I was always going hunting and grinding out levels before entering the next area. But for this chapter, I think I'm gonna try speedrunning it. There are 3 reasons why I'm doing this. First of all, the Lost Desert is pretty big, and it's easy to get lost here. So I want to show you guys the routes to go to some places more clearly, and with a lot of battles in between, it's hard to show it. So I'm just gonna go normal instead of hunting in this chapter. Also, why is Mipsy and Talina dying? This is also the second reason I'm doing this, to make this a more challenging series. For the last 2 chapters, all the fights including the bosses are pretty easy, except for Songbomb, but I don't have Mipsy at that time so it doesn't count. So I'm thinking about putting myself in an underlevel state to see if this gets more challenging. And the third reason is we're about to get our 4th member. So I'm just gonna speedrun this part to get him faster, and after getting him, this game will become even more easier. So this is the last chance for us to make this series more challenging, really. We're on the floor 2 of the Temple of the Sky. You remember that one Sangrundo we met in Merida? Well, you can find his cousins here. Since there's still some time before we fight the next boss, we can talk about something that I missed in the last 2 chapters. Like, do you know that you can regenerate health by just walking? If you have a maximum health of 50, you can regenerate 1 health for each steps you take, for a maximum of 7 steps after each battle. And for every 100 more maximum health you have, you can regenerate 1 more health for each steps. So for example, Mipsy here only have 126 maximum health, so she's gonna regenerate 1 HP for every steps that she takes. But for Rohan and Talinia, because they have over 150 health, which is 50 plus 100 more, they are going to recover 2 health for each steps. So if you are low on health and low on potions, you can just switch back to normal and walk around and hope that you don't encounter any enemies. Areas near towns are usually safe area that you cannot encounter any enemies. And Talinia died. Well, that's the first time for everything. At least Mipsy is okay, she's doing alright. Well, I did said that I'm not gonna grind out levels. However, let me just get to level 30 before we fight the next boss, shall we? We're close to leveling up anyway. And also, on Galileo the recommended level is 32, I'm still at 29. After that Talinia's death, I should be more cautious. I don't want to get sent all the way back to Sakhmet City. It's a good thing I have the resurrect potions ready back in the town of Seaside in Meridau. Losing Talinia is a big deal, because she's starting to do some damage now, especially in multiple targets situations. Even though Talinia's multiple shots cannot be used every single turn like Mipsy's group direct damage can, her actions will not be delayed as much as Mipsy's GDD would when casting on multiple enemies. It feels a lot safer to use multiple shots on Talinia than using GDD on Mipsy. Every time I use GDD, it feels like I'm playing with fire, batting against the gods, and dancing on the edges of life and death. That's why I prefer direct damage over group direct damage on higher difficulties like Insane. We're level 30 now, so enough talking. Let's just go kill the boss. Siliclast, a stout rock golem, looks at you balefully as you approach. He says nothing, but a deep rumbling sound emanates from him as he prepares to strike. Siliclast has haste, has slows, and it has a group damage that can deal up to 44. But you want a little bit more HP than just 44, because when he is haste up by 38, he can go 2 turns in a row. And he hits pretty hard, he just crushes Rohan for 64. So even 100 health may not be safe enough. The safest option is actually using slow potions to slow him down a little bit, so that he won't go 2 turns in a row. Also, why am I not hasted? I should have cast group haste at the first turn. And also Rohan is a yellow, but I think it's fine. The ones I have to worry about are Mipsy and Talinia. Now let's see, okay, Mipsy is in danger zone now. I probably should have potion here. Yeah, I definitely should have potion there. Mipsy is dying. But also it's Siliclast, can we kill him first? No, don't you dare, Siliclast, no, you are... Almost said a gamer word here. Rohan, I need to heal Rohan now, because if Rohan dies, it's actually over. I don't think Talinia have enough damage. And Siliclast just go 2 turns in a row and do crazy damage. Good thing Talinia survived that, and we're so close. Please finish it. Talinia? Ooh, 41. I don't know you have it in you. Siliclast shudders, and after a moment, pieces of his stone body starts flicking off. Seconds later, he begins to rumble even louder, and larger pieces crumble to the ground. After a few seconds, he is nothing more than a powerful rumble. In the middle of the pile, you see a dull glint. The celestial talisman. I got a bow, I got a long sword. Could be upgrades to my shop items. The sword is 2 more damage plus damage increased skill. Combat focus is not very useful, but overall an upgrade. And the bow is 1 more damage plus 2 skill point on the multiple targets and 1 skill point on the shockwave, which is very much needed. I can utilize all those 3 skill points. I'm gonna rest in the tents for 350 gold. It's a good deal. I get to use one less resurrect potions on Mipsy, and it just fully heals me. It's also how considerate Mipsy is. She's always dying in the right moments. It's either near the town or after the boss so that it would teleport me back to a safe place. How nice of her. We're in the ruined temple now, and I have not explained why we're here. So basically, if you kill the Siliclast and then go back to Sakhmet City and talk to the 3 NPCs, they will tell you that the Celestial Talisman is pointing to the north, signaling the Medallion of the Wind is actually hidden in the ruined temple, and we'll have to find it. It really makes you wonder, where are all the gods in Sakhmet? Where are the royal gods? Why are we doing their job? Or why aren't they trying to assist us in any way? Well, I guess it's the same for all RPGs. We have to do other people's quests. That's the soul of the game. I remember back in chapter 1.1 I said that you should max melee haste second after damage increase and before critical strike. But obviously I didn't do that, because it was a little bit feels crafting back in chapter 1.1. I forgot the details of the game, and now that I've been actually playing this, I think critical strike is a lot better. But you still need a few points of melee haste and then you can go max your critical strike. Because critical strike on the early levels is not significant. It feels like you're never going to crit in level 1 and level 2. However, if the level goes up, you will feel the impact. You'll crit a lot more often, you'll kill the monster that much faster, and the gameplay feels a lot smoother. Boom, bam, bop. Missy died again. But you know what? Hold on. You know what? She's gonna revive, because she's about to level up and she's gonna get healed full health. That's the genius of Mipsy. She always knows when is the time to sacrifice herself. I was whining about it, but now that I think about it, she's actually a genius, a prodigy. A professional at dying, if you will. Always doing the right things in the right time? That's my girl. We're on the 4th floor now, and the boss is also on this floor. Gebarn 2 is a pretty strong boss. He got a 100 health heal, 77 direct damage, and 52 group direct damage. An annoying slow for 53% too. So I'm just gonna grind up one character level to level 32. Because the recommended level is 34. Now I know what you're thinking. Well, you said you're not gonna grind up levels. No, I'm not. I'm just gonna get one character, our main DPS, to 32. If he spams heal, then it will be problematic. We don't have enough damage, so bear with me. Gebarn 2, are you ready? Here we go. Gebarn 2, an ancient undead pharaoh, stands before you, a powerful reanimation of his former self. I've been charged with protecting the Medallion of Wind from you, he shouts. And I will not falter in my duty, he attacks. Now Gebarn 2 does not have a haste himself, so it's better for you to bring up slow potions here. So I cast group haste here. On the first turn, it's always good to use Mipsy's haste on longer fights. We're doing some damage here, but always remember Gebarn 2 can spam heal and it's problematic. Now he's just gonna slow every one of us, which is quite annoying. And Mipsy's DCs aren't really hitting anything. It's all about Rohan Taninia here. Oh, why is he back to full health? Come on, stop spamming heal. It's like playing those Pokemon games and the gym leader just keep spamming Hyper Potion and just heal back to full health again. And my Mipsy's DCs is resisted. It's always like this. Tagion is pretty good damage, but it's manageable actually. It because its action will be delayed a lot after using Contagion, so it is not really that scary. Destroy is actually more scary here because on Mipsy it can be deadly. We are still tickling Gebarn 2 here. Another Contagion, we got some room to breathe, we can cast Haze, and Mipsy is delayed to 8.7 seconds, which is not very Gucci. Good thing our slow wear off, so he just keep on casting slows again. Mipsy is dying. Can Mipsy makes it? Yeah, Mipsy makes it. Okay, very good. I thought she wasn't going to make it because she had the slows on, but I guess the slow wear off. And Gebarn 2, do me a favor, stop healing yourself. Thank you. The season's not hitting a single time. I didn't know that Gebarn 2 has a high magic resistance, but if the disease hit a single time, he would have been dead. We are so close to home. Can we finish it? Are you serious? 9 health? 6 damage? Come on, man. Okay, finally. Gebarn roars in anguish. You don't know what you've done, he gasps. The Mandalorian must not be reunited. Suddenly, powerful blasts of energy emits from his body in all directions, shaking the rune temple and raining debris everywhere. We dive for cover, and Gebarn's body explodes in a tremendous conflagration. The ground shakes like a great earthquake. After a minute, though, it ends, and the room is silent. Lying on the floor where Gebarn stood, you now see a piece of bronze metal, glinting in the fading lights. It appears that the medallion of the wind has been broken. You have found what appears to be the upper part of the medallion. It has some kind of markings on it, but it's difficult to tell what they are. I got a new wand and a bow. Really? Another bow? How many bows am I gonna get? Mipsy, I'm gonna give her more levels on group haste. And Talenia on multiple targets, because spoilers, we're gonna get another new crew member. And we'll be facing a lot of 4 enemies fights now, so we will need that skill point. Oh, this is so good. This one is so good. Group haste +2 and group direct damage. That's all I need. And Talenia, the bow isn't so bad. 28 damage with a bow damage. Bow damage skills, I guess it is better, but I'm losing these multiple targets, which I kind of want to keep it because we're about to face 4 enemies fights a lot more often. And you can read the medallion information here in the inventory. So I guess this is all for this episode now. Whew, that's a long one. In the next episode, we'll be getting our 4th member. So stay tuned, thanks for watching, I'll see you guys in the next one, peace.